And now, without further ado, let's say hello to the Motown phenom himself, Kevin Lee, who's all smiles. And I wonder why. Life is good fighting at welterweight, I would imagine. Kevin, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. What's going on, Ariel? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Great to talk to you. How much different is it? Too early to say how it is affecting you, or not? How much different do you feel on the Monday before fight now that you are fighting at 170?
I feel a lot smoother. I mean, I can go a lot harder, especially like today. I'm gonna get in a full workout where usually about the Thursday or Friday before we gotta kind of tone it down and kind of save the energy, getting ready for that weight cut. I'm just about the same size, maybe 2 or 3 pounds heavier, but it's gonna make for a much smoother fight. I mean, I'll let you know for sure next Sunday how it go
Right.
after the fight.
How much do you weigh right now? Could you tell us that?
I'm about 181.
What?
So, it's gonna be a solid 10 pounds as opposed to normally I'm about 179 when I'm cutting down to 155, which, when you talk about that, that's like a 24, 25 pound cut. So for this one, it's gonna be a whole lot better.
Man, this should be a breeze for you. Are you looking forward to fight week as opposed to dreading it this time around?
I mean, it's different. It's different all around for me going into this fight. I'm focused a lot more on the fight itself. So, all the distractions and all the media and all this stuff, like I'm used to it by now. Like I feel like I'm a vet in the game a little bit, but I'm solely 100% focused on the fight. So I'm not necessarily taking it easy and enjoying it that much. I'm just ready to get in there and get it over with. And each day, I'm just kind of like, all right, let's just get this shit over with. Let's get to the next day. Let's get to the next day, and then let's get to fight night. So I can go ahead and do this thing.
How did this opportunity come about? Did you go out to the UFC and say, I want to fight at 170? Did they present you with it? How did it come about?
They approached me with it a couple times about going up to 170, and it never really interests me that much, just because when I got my mind set on something, I really do, and it always had been that 155 pound title. Just because I felt like that's where I started, but then as things was playing out, and as I was seeing the way the whole sport was kind of moving, you seen a lot of other guys was moving up, and I wasn't gonna be one stuck in the mud. I'm like, okay, maybe this would be better for my career and my longevity. And when I started looking just at myself and how I could approach the fight itself better, it made sense for me. And then when they approached with RDA, I'm like, oh, that's a damn good fight. At 155, I was trying to give guys shots at a higher ranked opponent, and nobody was taking it. But when they approach RDA, I'm like, okay, he for sure he gonna show up and he gonna give me a good fight, which is what I really want anyway. I just want to fight. I didn't care who it was. I didn't care what way. I really didn't give a fuck. But when they came with this one, it made sense.
Did it also make sense because he's a former lightweight and maybe a little smaller than some of the other welterweights? So it's a nice sort of, first dipping of the toe in the water, so to speak, for you at 170?
That does help. But I've heard RDA gets up above 200 pounds, to 210 and stuff like this. Like I've never been above 200 in my life. So I don't know. Well, I'll see more on the actual fight night. Like I said, I'm more so focused on myself. I think our frame and everything is the same size. He might just get a little bit bigger in between off seasons, or he like to eat a little bit more than me, or however his body type is set up. So I don't know. We'll see how the fight play out. But it made sense. It made sense all around the board. He's a former champ. It's gonna be my first time really fighting somebody who's already won that title. So it's gonna be a good shot to see where I am.
So we just saw a picture of the stare down that you guys had back in Atlanta. How would you rate that one? What did you take away from it?
I can see and this don't happen very often. Each stare down is a little different. Each guy's a little different, but I can see something in his eyes a little bit. He still kind of got that fire, and even though a lot of people might look at it and say, I'm the more skilled fighter, or RDA is kind of on a downslope a little bit. I think he's gonna show up and he's gonna give me a fight. I can see the little twitch in his eye. I think he in for one. So I'm in for it too. And that's kind of the only thing I took out of it.
In his last couple fights, he has fought wrestlers, right? He fought Kamaru Usman.
Mhm.
He fought Colby Covington. Are you surprised that he took this fight against you? Because it just seems like these are bad style matchups for him.
No, like I said, I mean he's a former champ. And with this one, I mean I really got to give him that respect. I think if anything, that those are gonna be experiences that he gonna try and use into going to this one. But I mean, all around, I think I'm a bad style matchup for him. I'm not just gonna be looking for one thing. I'm not just gonna be looking just to put him on the ground. If he gives me that, I'm gonna take it. Of course, I'm gonna take what the man gonna give me. But either way, I think it's gonna be a hell of a fight. That's the only thing I'm concerned with. It ain't gonna be a wrestling match. We ain't going in there and he ain't gonna know what I'm gonna hit him with. I'm gonna give him the full tools and my full arsenal, and we'll see how the whole thing play out.
I feel like you really enjoy those seasonal press conferences when all the characters are there. I feel like you enjoy being in that setting. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's fun for me. It's fun. The whole thing is a little bit fun for me. The build up and having all these kind of back and forths with the guy, or just getting to look into the guy's eyes. And as a fan of the sport, I follow the sport real close. I just yeah, I kind of enjoy myself, and I feel like I'm supposed to too. I mean, we up here, we get this opportunity of a lifetime. I feel like I'm gonna show me, and I really like put myself out there, and every time they have me do these type of things, and I enjoy myself with them. I see a lot of guys, they sit up there with, like, their head hanging low, and they're like just trying to get out the building. And this is once if you're not enjoying what you do, then what the fuck are you doing? I enjoy every day that I wake up. I get to go to the gym. I get to punch people, and then and I get to show the world in a couple weeks. So I enjoy this type of stuff.
Okay, so you have this opportunity to fight against a former champion. This is great. I like the fact that you're fighting at 170 because I feel like it's healthier for you. I can't help but feel like perhaps the log jam, like it finally feels like they're starting to streamline things at 155 with Khabib potentially fighting Poirier and Ferguson Cerrone. But it just seemed like for a while there, like a bunch of you guys were just hitting your head on a ceiling. Do you feel like maybe there's a cleaner path at 170? You don't have to deal with all of those politics, because 155 has maybe the biggest names in the sport, but it also has the most politics. And it just seems, I mean, like Tony Ferguson, for God's sakes, the guy's on like an 11-fight winning streak, still can't sniff a shot at the title. Does it feel cleaner for you at 170? Is that part of the appeal as well?
Yeah, that was definitely a factor in it. If my next fight was going to be at 155, I was going to have to sit and wait and kind of see how these whole politics and all this play out. I think a lot of it will clean up towards the end of the year, but I was just interested in fighting. I just wanted to fight as soon as possible. So it did help because it's a little bit cleaner. Yeah, 155 might have a couple bigger names, but 170 has really got the bigger competitors, and they've got the better fighters, I feel like. Even when you talk about the champs, you talk about Khabib, and then you got Usman on the other side. I really feel like Usman is the more complete fighter. I mean, he's kind of got a very similar style to Khabib, except he's much bigger and he present like a little bit bigger challenge. So for me as a competitor, I like the biggest challenge. Khabib is still, that still would have been fun, and that's still something that's going to happen in the future. I think a lot of the guys at 155, we still got a future together. We still gonna have a date. But for right now, 170 seemed like it's got the top of the top. And I'm gonna get in there, and I'm gonna shake things up, and I'm gonna show them what I can do.
I know you told the media last month that you and RDA should weigh in at 165 to make a statement that they need that weight class. Is that still the plan?
When I show up tomorrow, I leave for New York tomorrow, and we gonna check in, and I'm gonna get to see him, and I kind of always kind of go out my way to see the guy on the week of the fight. I'm gonna approach him with it again. I said something to him. He ain't say nothing back yet. I'm gonna approach him with it. I'm gonna see where his weight's at. Are you prepared to make 165? And if he is, then let's go ahead and do it. I feel like if we do it, we can just take the initiative and just show, this is where we compete at the most healthiest. It's just going to be a factor of if he can do it. Like I said, I'm sitting at 180 pounds. It's going to be nothing for me to make 165. If he's coming in 190, 195, then go ahead and cut that weight and let's get it in.
I would.
All I'm looking for at the end of the day is a fair fight. I really don't give a fuck about the weight. We could fight at 190 if he wanted that. But if it's a fair fight and we both weigh in at the same thing, then let's go ahead and get it done.
I would love that. I think that would be a lot of fun if you guys are able to pull that off, or even if you're willing to pull that off. Where did you train for this fight?
I might do it. I might do it on my own.
You never know. I might do it. Do it, Kevin. Do it.
I might be in that tub. I might be feeling it. You never know.
I don't understand why Dana's against this. I truly don't. I mean, they throw out these interim titles. This is a legitimate weight class. And some of the best fighters, like I feel like Nate Diaz would be there, Jorge Masvidal, you would be there, RDA. Like it's just big names, you know what I mean? And you all would be legit contenders right off the bat. I don't get it. Like 195, I get the hesitation. There's not a lot of names
Yeah.
between 125 to 205. In this case, it makes all the sense in the world. Where did you train? Like, have you found, the right set of coaches home? Are you set with all of that, with all the changes lately for you? Do you feel like you have found that? And if so, where?
It's been completely in Vegas.
Okay.
I did make a couple trips down to California to work with a guy, Sam Calvita, who's worked with a lot of guys and strength and conditioning coach down there. And the man's out of his mind. He really is. He's the same guy that trained T.J. Dillashaw for a couple of his fights, and doing that kind of put me into that mode to where I really had to push and get it done. But for the most of the training camp, I've been in Las Vegas. It's still over this Stream Couture. We've really been coming into our own, and Eric Nixick been over there and really kind of taking over and kind of putting his self forward. And even though he doesn't have a whole lot of fight experience, he's really coming to his own as a coach. I still got my staples, Dewey Cooper and Corey Goodwin. They still lead behind me. So we've prepared really good for this fight, and we excited for it.
Wait a second. So when you said that he's crazy, I didn't know which direction you were going to go here. Of course, he's taken some heat for the TJ story, but you enjoyed your experiences with Sam Calvita?
Enjoyed is like, I don't know where you get, I don't know what you mean by that. It was
training with him?
beneficial. I say that.
Okay.
It was very beneficial. I mean, the man pushes you to a whole nother limit, to the point where I could see why somebody like TJ, he stayed with him and kept doing it over and over. I think he moved down to California just to work with him. So I can see why he needed to be on drugs in order to get some of the workouts through. Me, I'm look. I'm gonna keep it real with you, Ariel. The man pushes you.
Okay.
And I think even RDA has tried to go down there and work with him. And only did one half of a workout with him, he said, and couldn't do it no more. So
Wow.
for me to go down there and kind of push through that, completely drug free, completely legal, and I'm gonna wear a USADA t-shirt next time you see me. I think that's really gonna give me the edge in the fight.
Have you ever been to Rochester?
I went for the opening, for
Oh,
the media opening, and did a whole lot of media, TV, and the whole shebang out there.
people
Went through the whole
interested? People
rounds.
excited?
I think people are just overly excited for this fight in general anyway.
Yeah.
I think people, this has been one of those fights. It's been kind of the biggest fight for me, at least. Even though I ain't been too much on social media at all, really. And I ain't really like start to look a lot. I've gotten a whole lot more attention just on a average day to day. I feel like people are excited to see this fight. They want to see me compete at 170, where I feel like a lot of people thought I should have been a while ago. So they want to see me healthy and fight somebody like RDA. So overall, it's gonna be a damn good fight.
I know you're at 170 now, but I'm just curious. Did you watch the Ally Quinta Donald Cerrone fight?
Yeah, of course. I mean, how could this be a interview with Ariel without bringing up Al? So go ahead, fire off.
I
I
just
know
want
you got 20 questions.
No, I just got one. I just wanted to know what you thought about it.
I mean, the fight went how I thought it was gonna go. I mean, the man got another main event spot because of me, so that's good for him. He didn't capitalize on his opportunity. RDA is somebody who's beat Cowboy twice, and beat him in really convincing fashion. So I'm gonna make sure this weekend I capitalize on that opportunity, on mine, because this is another main event for me. So we'll see how. I'm just focused on me. Let me just say
Okay.
that.
We're not beefing again, are we? I thought we got over this.
We've been over it, Ariel. We've been over it. Until you bring up the same old. We've been over this. But I do respect you, Ariel. I give you that. Not a lot of these MMA journalists and all that, they don't really put forth the effort into this, into the game. I feel like they kind of sit back on social media, and a lot of I follow it real close, so a lot of the headlines I might see is Paige Van Zandt in her underwear, and I mean, like, come on, is this what we doing? I that's the reason why I don't be on social media like that anyway, because a lot of these journalists, they get lazy. So I only get on you when you get lazy and you want to ask me about Al every fucking time you talk to me. If you want to talk to him, go talk to him.
All right, all right, all
But
right.
me and him got past history. It's in the past. I'm moving on.
Okay, okay. I don't want to go down that road with you. I thought we've come a long way, and I thought we were in a good place. So I'm sorry. Let us end on this. I wanted to ask you about what you wore at the press conference because I heard there was significance to it, the red and the blue. What was that all about?
Yeah, I mean, Nipsey Hussle had just passed away, which that's right before that press conference, which that's just one death amongst. I think it just kind of signified what was really going on in the community that I'm kind of looking at and I'm looking around. And I really just kind of wanted to show, and just overall, just in fighting, I just want to show unity in something bigger than what we kind of looking at. I think a lot of people who are young are very lost and don't really know how to channel that energy in a right paths in the right way. I feel like MMA could be something like that. I don't think it's really branched off into the black community yet. But it's no point in this senseless violence in the streets. I've lost so many people that just off of them not understanding what they're getting themselves into, with not understanding what they're doing, and not understanding the consequences behind it. I'm a professional. We wake up every day, and I put my body through a lot of torture in order to step in there on Saturday and really go to war with this man. And I don't know if I'm gonna walk out on Saturday night or not. That's just the reality. I mean, there's a very good chance that I will. It hasn't happened yet, but it's the truth of the matter, and I think that needs to be left up to the professionals. And in the streets, it's just why we got to do this. Why can't we just unify and really try and push things to another level and get bigger and better? And that's all I be trying to say. And I hope if at least one person see the message, and at least one person feel my vibe and feel my energy, then then the world would be a little bit better. So. I mean, I'm young. I'm still trying to figure out my own path, and I'm still trying to figure out the way for myself. But if I can show it to somebody who may be a little bit younger than me, or maybe a little bit more naive, then why not?
Well done, Kevin. Well done and well said. I appreciate it very much. Good luck to you this Saturday. Looking forward to the fight. Kevin Lee, RDA, Rochester, 8 p.m., ESPN Plus. What a fight that is. Amazing stuff. Thanks for doing this, Kevin. Good luck to you.
Of course, appreciate you, Aaron.
There he is.
Always. We
the
good.
Motown phenom himself. And I'm glad we're good because in the past we had a couple issues there, but we got over it.